Hey, Bruce.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Can you just comment on the play of the fourth line, especially early on when the other three lines were kind of figuring things out?
Well, I thought Wags has been real close to scoring the last few games, had some tough luck around the net. So they're starting to generate a little more, feed off each other. Gave them the start tonight. I think in our building, they bring energy. It's usually them or Bergie. And they got off on the right foot. I thought Anders was real good tonight. Made a great play to Bergie early on. Was around the puck. Wags was getting to the front of the net, winning his wall battles. Sean, good discipline, playing in the middle of the ice. So, Jay Pandolfo went through some stuff with them this morning. I think that always helps to see themselves in a small group, talk about what they liked, and, have the coach there to sort of remind them what are, systematically how to do it. And they've done a good job with that. Jay and Joe with grabbing lines, over the course of time. So clearly whatever was said, I thought worked well for them. The penalty kill went well the other night tonight. So they feed off that a bit. They're all part of that. So I was happy for them. They're well liked in the room. And when those guys score, I think it always lifts the bench.
We'll go next to Dan Roach.
Hi, Bruce. Just a thought on how pleased were you with the overall team defense and what they were able to accomplish against the Penguins?
I think it's been good all year, Dan. It's the trademark of the team. Guys are buying in, bringing some young defensemen. They've been in the system, so they know the drill. They know the culture here, and they're given an opportunity to buy into it. We lose Grizz this latter part of the game, so another guy goes down. We've had a couple of those things happen up front. Guys just kind of fill in. I think Jack and Freddie are, even though they're natural centermen, are figuring out what they need to do on the wing, and had some tough matchups in the third, so got their feet wet a little bit in that regard, because we're a team that prides itself in using everybody. So we know what we're going to get out of Crowley's line. They're always going to have a tough assignment. Bergie's line is can play against anybody, so nice to see those younger guys get acclimated against world-class talents like Malkin and Crosby and, the rest of that group over there. So very pleased. We broke down the third a couple times and Yarrow was there for us. So you always need that. But all in all, I thought we made it comfortable in front of them.
Next question, Connor Ryan.
Hey, Bruce. The fourth line earned a lot of minutes. Malkin and Crosby lines. Are those the assignments that guys like Sean and Chris enjoy taking on? And how do you think they fared in those matchups?
I missed part of it, but if you're talking about Crowley's matchup, they're typically against a good line. If they don't have it one night or we get behind, then you got to put some offensive guys in those situations. Not necessarily saying trade chances, but you may have to live with that for a bit. But so far we've been in every game, not really many large deficits. So Sean's line usually gets a lot of D-zone starts. They got a centerman on each dot that can take draws, like Wagner, even though he's a right winger, has taken a lot of draws in his career. Sean on the other one. So, we're building Bjorky into that. Some speed, a little creativity on the line. We'll see how it works out. We had Freddie there earlier this year. I thought he had a different flavor, did a good job. So, listen, those guys have to do a lot of the dirty work. D-zone starts, penalty kills. Some of the stuff doesn't show up in the score sheet, always playing against good players. So, again, I think they're doing a good job. They're doing their part. Nice to see them get on the score sheet.
Kevin Dupont, go ahead.
Butch, you switched up Smith and Coyle there a little bit. What was that about?
I just thought Bergie's line, just for whatever reason, Smith looked like he was getting on the other side of the ice. He likes to slash a little more than maybe Charlie. Charlie fills his lane. And what I mean by that is skate on to puck, Smitty. And I think, listen, we give our wingers the freedom to read the ice and do it. And I think Bergie and Marsh are a little more straight line, fill lanes. So, you know what? Charlie's played with them, gives you another center down low in your end because, Bergie's line, like I said, if they weren't out against Crosby, it was Malkin a lot of times in our end. So, you get that double centerman threat in case someone gets thrown out. So there's a little bit of that. That's where it started in the second period. And I don't know. I like the shift they had. And then Smitty gets a couple chances with the Krejci line. It's something we talked about this year when we signed Smith. Would he go with Krejci? Would he go with Coyle? So we wanted to look at it at some point anyway. So tonight worked out that way because they weren't going to be aligned together. So that was part of the thinking as well. So going into the game, we knew we may make that switch. I mean, we juggled our lines a little bit, got away from the Coyle Smith Frederick for obvious reasons. We had some, some right wingers out with Jake going out. So we just decided we'd play a bit more of a matchup game and then see where it lands us on Saturday. But that was the thinking behind it.
And any update on Grizz? Was that a re-aggravation?
No, it's, I guess, a different injury, lower body. So tough start for Grizz. So I don't think he'll be available Saturday. We're going to put him as day-to-day for now, Kevin, but it looks like it might be a few days anyway. So we'll see. We'll probably have a much better idea tomorrow or worst case Saturday morning when it calms down a bit, but that's the initial prognosis for him.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Raul Martinez.
Hi, Bruce. Early tests so far. I mean, you've passed them well against the Flyers and the Penguins here. Now you get the Capitals. Just your early thoughts on the Capitals and facing off against your old friend Zdeno Chara. What's that going to be like for you?
Yeah, we'll get a better look at them now, Raul, once we get to watch some film on. We've seen them a little bit. I watched them play Pittsburgh earlier, the pre-scout, for these games a little bit. But you're not paying as much attention to them. It's more Pittsburgh, obviously. Now the focus will be on the Caps. A lot of familiar faces there. We know what to expect. I don't know if they're all back in the lineup Saturday or not, how the NHL has dealt with, the 4 guys that, for the COVID protocol. So that could change what we see. But at the end of the day, they're always a solid team and well coached. So expect their best. And as for Z, I've said it before. I think he'll come out and we'll see his best. He's like I said, he bled black and gold here for the Bruins for years, and I think he's going to want to show his teammates and everyone in the organization that he can still bring it. I would expect nothing less. So it'd be good to see him. It'd be funny to see him in a different uniform. Not funny is not the right word. It'd be odd not see him in a Bruins jersey, but be good to see him. He's a good person, and I've always liked Z, and hopefully we'll have a friendship down the road. As a guy that helped me a lot when I first got here. Probably he helped me a lot more than I helped him. He'd been in the league a long time, so I've always appreciated that. I've made it known to him. So, but once the puck drops, I think you forget about that stuff. You just play hockey and let it go from there.
Final question for Coach Jimmy Murphy.
Hey, Coach, just circling back to the beginning there, just that line of Corrali and Bjork and just what they did tonight. How much was the team feeding off that early? When you can tell that they've got their energy, how much does that pick up the guys on the bench?
Well, it does. They were excited to see them start. I mean, we used to start that line a few years ago a little more often, maybe not exactly. I mean, Chari might have been in the mix or Schaller and at home a lot, and because they'd get it deep, establish a forecheck, get some hits in. So, it hadn't done it much this year, so it was good. They got out of the gate and they answered the challenge. And I think, like I said before, the guys love it when they get on the score sheet and have the puck a little bit. They're all popular guys in this team that the players pull for. They know how much dirty work they do, especially a guy like Marshy. He started in that role many years ago, so he appreciates it as much as anybody. Loves when they get going. Bergie had to start his career down a line. They all did. So for them to see them, sort of get out and give us energy, like I said, I think they really appreciate it and they love it when they get us going.